to come in, and depending on the amount of work that they do, they'll be there for a while, and it will cost money. So it's not just saying, oh yeah, I don't want to move, I want to stay where I am. It's much more involved than that. And these are things you need to think about. So let's say you decide, oh, I can't deal with this, I'm going to move. I just want some place to live where, everything's on one level, the bathrooms are already set up, and I can comfortably live. Well, you still have to clean out your stuff. That's not going to go away. But some people like to stay in the area where they grew up and lived their life and raised their kids, because their doctors are there, their friends are there, their neighbors are there, and they know people and they know how to get around. And that's fine. But you may decide to move closer to your grandkids, or you might want to move to a warmer climate, or you want to move someplace that's less expensive. A lot of people are doing that as the tax situation may change the amount of income you have, and you may want to move to a state where Social Security isn't taxed. There's a lot of different reasons to think about moving. But remember, many of the best places have wait lists. Families can be under a time pressure sensitive situation to find a home for mom and dad, but a lot of times it's a quick decision, and it's not always the best one. So let's say you fall and you go into the hospital, and then you have to go to rehab, and they say, no, you can't go back. Well, a lot of times there's a social worker on staff at the hospital who can help you find a place, but it's really not necessarily a place that you'd want to go to if you had your own choice. It's a place that has a bed available. That's what the bottom line is. So if you look around and see what is available and what places cost, that's another thing. It's better for you to have control over where to live rather than having somebody else make the decision. So what if you want to move to a new area and you just say, I'm out of here. I'm tired of shoveling snow. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of that. Well, that's because there might not be an easy solution to staying where you are. Or let's say you've recently retired, kids are grown and gone, but you don't need the big house with all the upkeep, for goodness sake. Where should you go, though? Well, you may prefer, as I said, to stay in the same area, but move to something that's less maintenance. And the taxes and the weather may not appeal to you in your current location, so moving to another location entirely may be the best solution. But what do you consider? How do you choose? Well, think about these. First of all, ask yourself, what do you want your next phase of life to look like? Will you continue to work part-time? Will you fully retire? Will you travel? Will you take up a hobby? Will you do things you've always wanted to do on your bucket list? Second, you want to choose a location that has excellent medical facilities nearby. You may not need that specialist today, but good hospitals and doctors who accept your healthcare provider are a must. Third thing you want to consider is, what's the cost of living? And what's it going to cost me to live there? And what's it going to cost me to either buy or rent a place in my new location? Is it convenient to restaurants and social life? All those kinds of things are important. Is it close to an airport? Your style of home is going to be important too. Many people prefer one-level living at this point and will choose maybe a condo or a single-family home where everything you need is on one level, and that's fine. Then you have to work with choosing your floor plan, and then of course you have to decide what items do you want to take with you. If you're moving a long distance away, I will often tell people, they have sofas and chairs and dressers and beds in your new location. Why would you pay a mover to move them for you? Just take the things that are most important to you and maybe a few treasures, but don't pack up a lot of stuff and take it with you, because a lot of times if you're moving from a cold climate to a warmer climate and you have like a leather sofa or suede chairs, that's going to be really hot in the summertime. So think about it. Do you really want to take everything with you and pay a mover? So the other thing to think about is, do you want to live in what we call a master plan community, or do you want to live in an active adult community where it's only people over the age of 55? So, the age-restricted communities do cater to the wants of that over 55 crowd, and children are only allowed for certain amounts of time during the year, usually about 2 weeks or so. Master plan communities, however, are self-contained small towns, basically. They have everything you need in one location, and they cater to all ages. So you can work from home, you can play outside, you can live healthy, and that's all in one place. Another option that I'm particularly in favor of, and people say, well, you're a realtor, what is this about? I think you should rent before you buy. Sell your home and pocket the money for the short term. There's many communities in existence now, and they're being built where you can rent for as long as you need. Builders are seeing that they can build new homes in a community, and they don't have to deal with the mortgages, and they don't have to deal with inspections and things like that. They turn the community over to a property management company. And these places are sprouting up around the country, so it's something to really think about. I think it's a good idea, if for no other reason than just to live there for a year while you figure out what you want to do and where you do want to live, because it gives you the option to just lock and leave and travel. You don't have to deal with the maintenance. And you're not stuck living in an area that you thought you'd like and then you hated it for one reason or another. It costs a lot of money to buy a new place in a new location. Yeah, you may have to move at the end of the lease, but it's certainly going to be cheaper than buying and then having to sell. Regardless, next thing to think about is before you sell, make sure you visit several places you're interested in. And, to do that, you can rent an Airbnb for a month or so and see how you like the location. You want to check out surrounding areas to see what's available. You can move around and check out different areas over a year's time. And once you find something you love, then you can sell your home and move. And I track what's going on in the country, and some favorite cities for active adults are Austin, Texas, Orlando, Tampa, and Jacksonville, Florida, Charlotte and Raleigh, North Carolina, Phoenix, Arizona, Nashville, Tennessee. And I've done podcasts on many of these areas, so feel free to check them out. One thing to remember is that people choose their new home 79% based on location, 71% based on the design, 60% based on the price, 33% based on the amenities, and 33% on the safety of the community. 87% want an attractive community design, 79% want healthy living, and 74% just want a simpler life. So who's going to buy your home? Well, you probably want to sell your current home so you have the cash to use in retirement. So while you're evaluating and visiting new places, you have to also use that time to get your home ready for market. Now, the preparation, the pricing, and promoting are the three biggest points to keep in mind when you're getting ready to sell. Preparation includes, painting, updating appliances, switching out carpet, that sort of thing. That will improve the looks and make it more appealing to a wider audience of buyers. Pricing properly for the current market you're in will get the home sold the fastest. If you're in a seller's market, then that means there's low inventory relative to the number of buyers. So you price it accordingly, and you can easily get multiple offers. If it's a buyer's market, though, correct pricing will be very important, since you may be one of many on the market. And promotion means you're hiring a savvy realtor to market the property to the widest audience of buyers using the current technology available, like virtual tours and heavy use of social media, quality photos. So much more will expose your home to a wide audience of savvy buyers who expect to see your home on social media and other avenues. Millennials now make up the largest segment of buyers. So you want to hire a realtor who knows how to target that audience. You may prefer not to make updates. Well, there's nothing wrong with that, but just understand that there's a smaller pool of buyers who will do the work that you won't or can't. And they'll be investors and contractors who know how to make the improvements, and they have the cash to do it. But you won't get the higher price. They will get it. They're taking on the expense of updating to reach the target audience. And there's also builders who may want to tear the home down and build new if you're in an area where that trend is happening. So you want to listen to my other podcasts where I discuss in more details how to choose a community and what to look for and how to figure out what kind of lifestyle you want. And regardless, though, of whether you decide to age in place or move, start now. Don't wait till it's too late. Someone else will make those decisions for you, and they may not make the right ones. And if you want to ask me more, please feel free to email me at moveorimprovewithdebbie, Debbie, at gmail.com, or you can come up on my website, www.boomerhousingoptions.com, and I'll be glad to help you that way. Thanks for listening.